this room. It's quite eerie. Let's see if there are books to read. Death and Divinity, a Godly Guide. Death is too powerful a force for even a single god to contain. It is a duty that has been passed from hand to hand, splintered into smaller pieces. Disease, war, funeral rites. But there must always be an overseer of the cycle as life falls away. For countless eons, it was Jargal, the lord of the end of everything, presided over mortality with his unblinking stare, until even he grew wary. Young Baal, Bane, and Merkul must have thought themselves conquerors when they came for the god of death, yet he used their ambitions to free himself. Merkul claimed primacy over death from Jargal's bargain, but even he does not rule death alone. What is murder, if not the most violent of deaths, seized by Baal in his incessant greed? What need would there be for noble Kalimvor to judge passing souls, if one deity could hold the process entire? Even gods can die after all. Those who worship death should remember that above all else. Let's see, I think this might be a reading session. The Unclaimed. In life, her service had been impeccable. Daily did she devote herself to the Lady of Loss, which is Shah, as you know. Daily did she free herself from the tyranny of memory. All, in time, was lost to her. Her relations, her preferences, even her own name. Upon the altar of her devotion placed she the ultimate offering, her emptied mind. And when she died, when she awoke in death and found herself standing in the pale and faded city of judgment, she waited for the Lady of Loss to retrieve her. A million souls and more passed her in colorless gusts, but no hand materialized in her hand. No voice whispered instruction in her ear. No guidance proffered itself from the bleak and barren sky. Time, immaterial time, passed round her like air, coming and going. And still, the goddess did not come for her devotee. Kalimvor pitied her as much as the Lord of the Dead is able, but could not intervene. This cleric of the Lady of Loss, unclaimed despite her worthiness, might have one more lesson to learn. That not of forgetting, but being forgotten. The Mortal View, eyewitness accounts of the Barspawn crisis. Yeah, that's a direct reference to the first two games. The guild seal on the inside of this cover belongs to a printmaking collective in Baldur's Gate.
Of course I remember. Knew the second that girl was walking that she'd be trouble. Little thief, always in everyone's business. And that ward of Gorion went right along with her. Not surprised the wicked god blood was running in their veins.
Anonymous, Candlekeep.
Sailwalker and his lot are always the first ones that come to mind. You know, this all started with a bit of iron in Nashkel. Everyone thought their weapons would rot out of their hands. Back then, I thought the problem was a bad trade. Never took the man for a son of Baal.
Amnian mercenary, interviewed on his deathbed.
You dare speak that name to me? My mistress turned to ash fighting those forsaken wretches. I curse Baal, I curse Irentius, and I curse you.
Or Sir Vampire. At Cutler slumps.
The five tore Tethria to pieces. I don't think anyone expected more Barspawn to show up would fix the war that a pack of them started. Then again, they were all inclined to killing each other, huh? Good riddance. Here's hoping every last one of them has been wiped off the face of Faerun.
Saradosh Merchant, retired. I am not authorized to be talking about any murder with someone like you. Take it up at the Sea Tower if you want to argue. But honestly, who cares if a Barspawn got struck to them? They're father of the killing type, after all. Flaming Fist's Gauntlet, Baldur's Gate. Several hundred more interviews follow, most of them terse. The Unclaimed, The Curse of the Vampire. Hearken close and beware the vampire. Beware its cold beauty, beware its charm, beware its curse. Above all, beware the pale noble, for for the vampire cannot bear to be of the common folk. How doth one protect from the beasts? Walk not in blackest night, for the vampire loves those nights more than any other. If you must walk, do so by the light of our moon, and take care. Carry the blessings and marks of your god at all times. But remember, your home is a fortress, if protected well. If you hear a knock in the night, be wary. Let no stranger into your home. If it be a friend, look upon them. Do you find them pallid, and when? See you any mark upon their necks? See you any dirt upon their clothes? Unless their need is great, turn away all but the most trusted. And if the beast finds a way into your home, flee. Leave love and family behind. You will not save them if you fight. You will not see them again. But they will see you, pale and smiling, calling them into the night. Yeah, very charming creatures, those vampires. That was half of the library. Let's have a look at the other side. That we read too. Kind of funny that it's a whole library and we read like 5 books, I think, and that's it. And we find the same books again and again. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's really cool. Oh, there's another chest. So let's loot it. An ink pot and a quill. There are the chapel records and a plaque.
You do not recognize the language on the plaque.
Does anyone else do?
You do not recognize the language on the plaque.
Let's have a look.
You do not recognize the
Apparently
language
not.
on the plaque. You do not recognize the language on the plaque.
I would say it's A for effort. Some more candles and some gold.
That's curious.
Ah, and a lever.
What was that?
I think something opened. I think this one opened. Nice.
Best be on my way.
Let's read the chapel records and see if we can find anything interesting there. Fine dust coats the pages of the weathered book. Beneath the bone-white powder, hundreds of short obituaries are recorded in tiny script. Grobian Tibble, Ilmatar, Drowning. Yvain Arkinson, Okmar, Internal Rot. Devrin Stout, Saloon, Fever. So I guess it's the name, the deity they followed, and cause of death. So cool how many things and details there are. Let's try to see if we can open that door. Oh, we are somewhere else. We are in a dank crypt. Before going there, let's try to explore everything here. I think we can get there. That door. Oh, there's another guy. And he seems hostile.
Can't risk being in open view.
Careful,
Astarion.
I might.
I mean, the others follow.
Blades always sharp.
Let's try to just do it with Astarion,
Concentrate.
because he has the best sneaking rogue. And let's try, because he doesn't want to talk, let's try to just kill him from behind. Hi. Sneak attack. Nice, even though it wasn't enough.
Not a cat burglar. Rather stand tall.
Let's join with the others, and maybe we can still finish the fight before it really begins.
Move. Surprised you spotted me.
Throw a firebolt. Well, the other thing is, because we are hidden, we get advantage on the first one.
Whatever
So-
comes, I'm ready.
Yeah, it doesn't help with saving throws, so the Sacred Flame doesn't do anything. Let's give her also a ranged weapon,
Mine.
so we get the sweet advantage.
What now? Taking my time in the shadows. Salutations.
Anyone still sneaking? No.
What to do?
And Dawn. Ah, yes, also a key. Sword. I don't think anyone else needs
Minster's not
a
around,
leather
so
armor.
might as well.
Astarion's eccentric clothes. He already has a padded armor.
No time to rest.
Should get some rest. I need to keep sharp.
Like that. Alright.
Over here.
So I think that's just to the outside. Isn't it? Nice. So, before venturing further into the chapel, let's do a long rest. Unlocked. Long rest, short rest, go to camp. Our first rest.
Never wanted the easy path.
Invasion plans for the Sword Coast. What is that? This map of the Sword Coast sprawls from the deep forests of Tethir to the frigid spine of the world. Its topography worn by ancient ink and the concentrate between mortal hands. Yeah, this is going to be our camp. Oh, and there's even a wall and a storage chest. I guess it's... Oh, there's actually something inside. Yes, someone else also had a camp here before. And what's really nice is that they put more effort into everyone not just standing around, but having their own tents. And that's really cool. Look at Astarion's tent. Looks so fancy. And he even has a mirror. Guess... Which one could be Gale's tent? I guess this one. With the telescope. And those alchemical things. Looks quite cozy. And the table beside. And Shadowheart. Yeah, that looks like the tent of a cleric. And also, it's themed in Char's colors. With its purple. Right, let's have a talk with everyone. Ah, I'm so excited. So happy to get to know them all over again. And see new scenes and...
Go to hell.
What an ironic thing to say to a tiefling. Well, and good evening to you too.
Ha! You're a good sport. Go to hell. An everyday expression. So trivial it's almost meaningless.
We already did.
But we've seen hell. It's real. And it isn't trivial.
So, what exactly is on your mind, Gale?
Devils, dragons, mind flayers. They used to be abstracts.
Like his casual
Pictures on
clothes.
a piece of paper. What a difference a day makes. Now we have tadpoles slithering through our heads like carnivorous feti. That's not abstract.
Yeah, I mean, Garon is in general a quite optimistic guy. Of course, he's like, well, we'll find a way, and if we don't, well, we'll find something to deal with it. I'm not too worried. We'll find someone who can help us, definitely. And if we don't, we just look some more.
That's the spirit. Let's be up with the lark. Find a healer before the wee one gets hungry.
You're not versed in magic, are you?
Oh. I mean, I'm a bard, so I am versed in magic. I want to protest. We have that option. Not really like you are, I guess. Why do you ask?
No matter to worry the unlettered over. If you meet any elder wizards, let me know. There is a matter I'd like to seek advice on from a master.
I wonder if we would have told us more if we were a wizard ourselves.
What's on your mind?
I was wondering if you maybe wanted to tell me a bit more about yourself.
Let's see. I hail from Waterdeep, city of splendors. I am a wizard of considerable acclaim and scholar of exceptional accomplishment.
Very modest.
I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry. There.
I mean, don't stop there. You must have many stories to tell about your adventures as an archmage.
Didn't that paint enough of a picture?
And why, as an archmage, are you level 2? Let's change the subject. Keep your secrets for now. I will get to know you and you will tell me everything. Alright, Shadowheart.
What were you two talking about?
What exactly do you mean? Are you prying?
You and Gale.
We were just discussing the next steps. What else would we have discussed?
I see. I'd be careful with Gale.
You don't trust Gale. I guess she just doesn't trust anyone.
He's a wizard. All they care about is power. Let's hope we rapidly find a healer. You seem reliable. I think you know how important it is that we find someone who can cure us. Best if we focus on that.
Absolutely agreed. The sooner we can find someone to help us, the better. We have no time to lose.
Good. We might even get
Gale
lucky and
approves.
find one right
Is he
away.
listening?
As I see it, we're overdue some good fortune. Rest well.
I've heard you can't get blood from a stone, but apparently you can get a wizard from one. Gale seems interesting.
It's so interesting to see how many dialogue lines and everything they changed. Because, for example, when you first met Gale in the early access, he was kind of flirting with Shadowheart and saying like, pleasure madam, eyes dark as dark lake. And she was like, is it now? Anyway. So, what do you think of all that's happened to us so far?
We haven't gone all that far yet. What are you referring to exactly?
What exactly will you do if we actually manage to remove the tadpoles?
I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course.
I mean, no reason for us not to stay together if we get on well, right?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there.
Daughter
Someone
of
I have to
Darkness.
As soon as possible.
Seems personal, I won't pry. Well, that's so not me, and thankfully that's so not Garon. Oh, so family or a friend or even a lover.
Let's just say it's a very personal, very private acquaintance.
So, how am I holding up in your estimations?
I must admit, you've been a surprise. And not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises?
Aw. What exactly is the story with that odd little artifact you have?
There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it.
And we can't even ask about it once again. You know, we should get to know each other a little more.
Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think?
I mean, we have to rely on each other, so it's easier if we know each other as well.
Easier's often less interesting. Besides, we've plenty of reason to rely on each other already. You can't confide in just anyone about a monster in your head.
But you know, maybe I'd like to get to know you better.
Sweet of you, but don't worry. I'm sure you'll get to know me just fine by traveling together. No need for interrogations just yet.
Just yet, so they will be soon. If that's what you prefer, I can respect that.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along perfectly well.
I'm excited to see. Alright. Another chest, but I guess it's ours. Ooh. Nice. I think those are the Twitch drop things. Interesting that you get them as a streamer too. Anyway. And also some... that. Oh, some foods. Haggis, Fritz, stout stew, potion of mind reading. A nice assortment, let's take them. And a peculiar clothing chest. Oh, those are the items you get regarding Divinity Original Sin 2. The Cape of the Red Prince, the Lute of the Merryweather Bard from Lae'zel. And of course... we're not proficient with the lute. Oh no.
So that's progress.
Sad. Okay, the next mission is to get proficiency with the lute so we can play with Lae'zel's instrument.
A lot on my mind.
Let's have a look at the other ones. We have the Mask of the Shapeshifter. Makes it perfect for the discerning actor, sleuth, or person with a mirror and time to kill. And we also have a cape, a hat, a pirate hat, and a nice dagger. So, let's see who we get those to. I think the cape I will take. Look. I really love capes, and I think especially that one looks a bit odd with the tail, but beside that it's really nice. No matter the tail, it looks nice. We'll take it. The pirate hat I'm going to give to Astarion. I think he will rock it. Nice. I think it's for Beast.
Despite everything. Yes.
And the Mask of the Shapeshifter we will try out later.
Let's get going. How much
So,
farther can I
last
go?
but not least, let's talk to Astarion.
Do you mind? I'm brooding.
What? That's it? You don't want to talk to me? You're just brooding?
So, we've picked up a wizard who managed to get stuck in his own portal. Hardly a promising introduction.
So, tell me something about yourself.
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
And we can't ask anything else. That was rather weird, and he's so bloody. Yeah. And I think he's the only one who's bloody.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Yeah, cause Gale is not.
Still
I don't know.
Despite everything.
Let's just rest. Maybe our lovely Astarion just needs some time to get a bit more comfortable to talk to us. I think nothing has really changed. So, leave camp.